Hi guys, I hope you're well. Nick here, founder and CEO of Track Digital, sat in the Dubai office. So we are a marketing agency that focuses on helping real estate agencies and real estate developers generate more leads online. However, we're slightly different to other digital marketing agencies because we operate real estate agencies as well. So over the past 3 years, I've generated over $4 million in sales commission through my teams, and we've sold over $91 million of real estate across the UK and Dubai. So we know what we're talking about. There is very few agencies out there in terms of marketing agencies that have the same level of knowledge as us. So we want to now help other agencies grow, scale, and deliver more transactions on a monthly basis through effective lead generation. So we offer a full suite of services, but we're mostly focused on Facebook advertising because we know that's where the core audience is. Now, what I've done is put together a presentation running through what we do, how we do it, and how we can help you. So if you watch to the end of the video, you're going to learn a lot about what we offer. Then if you wish to discuss this further, all you've got to do is book a quick consultation call. We'll go through a few discovery questions about you, where you're at the moment, and I'll let you know what I think we can do to improve your lead generation and generate more revenue on a monthly basis to help your agency scale. As I say, we're speaking from knowledge. We've been in the trenches. We've done this before. We know the model and the markets like the back of our hands. Most of the developers you work with, we already know. So we understand how to deliver projects, how to advertise, how to optimize, and how to build out successful campaigns. So I look forward to speaking to you soon, and we'll catch up then.
Hello everyone, welcome to the presentation on Track Digital. So my name is Nick Highland and I'm the CEO of the company. We are a digital marketing and lead generation specialist for Dubai real estate agents. But as some of you may know, I operate real estate agencies myself. And in the past 3 years, we've generated over $4 million in sales commission and sold over $91 million in property value. So what I want to do now is basically help other agencies scale. So our core objective is to drive off-plan sales deals through Dubai and the UK, other countries as well, but ultimately it's going to be through effective lead generation campaigns that have been ruthlessly optimized and measured. Now I choose those words really carefully and you'll see why later. So looking at greater detail then in terms of who I am, what we do, etc., etc. Hopefully this will explain some points for you. So I'm the CEO, as I mentioned, and then we have Travis Page, who's the operations manager at the company. So as I've touched on before, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of my own personal money on lead generation, and now I know exactly what works and what doesn't work. So I head up the strategy and work with new businesses joining Track Digital, and Travis oversees our actual paid media campaigns. So running the accounts, operating the team that run the accounts and ensure all your campaigns and your advertisement is optimized. So our core focus is Facebook ads, which also includes Instagram ads, but we also have extra services as well, such as graphic designers, web designers, developers, content producers, social media managers. We can build out funnels, landing pages, etc., etc. So we have a whole suite of service, but really our core focus is to generate leads through off-plan property investment sales. There's an example of an advert in the middle of the screen there in terms of what the end user or the investor may see online. So here's a bit of a summary in terms of what we can do, what we've done, and what we're going to do moving forward. So as I mentioned, we know the Dubai market like the back of my hand. We've done $4 million in the past 3 years. Our advertising cost at the moment coming in at about $14.97, and that was for a development in Studio City, and that was on Facebook. So our typical conversion rates we see, and this is an average over a number of years through a variety of channels, it comes in at about 3%. Now, this will fluctuate at 2 to 4%, obviously, depending on the skill of the broker themselves, depending on the, how hot the product is, and a couple of other factors, of course. But ultimately, we see about a 3% conversion rate. And the key channels we use are Facebook and IG, TikTok, and paid Google ads. So I just want to give you guys an understanding of my knowledge in the marketplace, right? So I understand the pain points that agencies and developers have in Dubai. So for one, it's obviously a saturated market. As we know, there's thousands of agencies and even more brokers in the marketplace. So competition is exceptionally fierce. As a result of that, the cost per lead can be quite high, especially if you're not optimizing campaigns. And we know companies like Bayut and Property Finder do charge a lot of money to advertise. We know that those channels work. I've advertised on both. So yes, you can get conversions that way, but especially in the off-plan market, it's very, very difficult because there's a lot of, bigger companies spending a lot of money to feature ads and to make them in prominent positions. And obviously there's loads of agents chucking up the same projects using the same images and the same prices. So it can be very, very challenging to generate a high volume of leads consistently. And I'm going to let you know the solution on that soon. Another issue we face is obviously speed and adaptability. So as we know in Dubai, projects sell exceptionally fast. So, Emaar, if they're doing a new launch, etc., before you know it, the top 20 agents have sold it out or sold the majority of it out. And, they come to doing a normal launch and within 2 minutes, the development's sold or all gone or we can't access units. So what you need to think about is how you can advertise and how you can have ready investors on hand at the snap of a finger, ready to commit and invest. And we're going to tell you how you do that. But you have to be quick. And if you're advertising, you've got to be able to go, right, products released, bang, adverts up, monitor it, optimize it, scale it, and get results without waiting around 2 weeks. You cannot wait 2 weeks in the Dubai real estate market to get a campaign live. It's just too long. So speed and adaptability is a big problem that a lot of agencies and developers face. Creative content. So obviously all the agencies generally get the same marketing material, so images, floor plans, brochures, sometimes videos from developers, and a lot of them will use that content to advertise the project online. So what that means is a lot of the consumers, i.e. investors, are seeing the same content. So it's a bit of an issue because what you've got to do is use fresh content. You've got to spice it up. You've got to add in text. You've got to really make it pop and stand out on people's feeds. And creative content is not easy to do. Direct developer contact. So sometimes if you're advertising projects, a lot of people might reveal the logo, or if you've got someone that's doing it for you, they might make it very easy for the investor to go direct to the developer. So obviously that is a problem in itself. Volume of leads. So when you're advertising on portals or when you're advertising on social media, getting the right volume and consistent results can be an issue. And obviously there's a lot of time and labor required to get campaigns live consistently and make sure they're absolutely successful. So a saturated market, expensive cost per lead, expensive subscription fees to portals, being too slow, having to adapt and change every 2 weeks because there's a new launch, being able to do creative content, making sure investors are not going direct to the developer, getting a large volume and a large scale of leads themselves, and not having to invest loads of time and loads of labor in terms of your in-house resources. These are the problems that developers and agencies are facing. And I know because I faced them myself. Okay. So what's the solution? The solution is to use a company like ourselves who will effectively take all that away. We know the system, we know the process, and we know how to implement it and get the best results. So what I'm offering you is effectively a done-for-you service. So we'll out-compete other agencies. Now, I know how other digital marketing agencies, how other freelancers work, and very, very few are actually successful. They actually care, and they actually drive results. Now, I know for a fact that within the market, in terms of the digital marketing agencies, I would say less than 1%, probably less than 0.5% have the knowledge that I have and my company has in running campaigns and, more importantly, actually closing real estate deals. So we know that the solution is ultimately getting you a managed process on autopilot from start to finish, being more experienced, more quicker, more analytical, more reliable and more authentic in terms of our offering, in terms of competing against other digital marketing agency. So you've got all these problems I've mentioned up here in the top left. The solution is us taking care of it for you from start to finish, completely automating it, so your time, your agent's time, your marketing team's time is not wasted every day having to check and optimize campaigns, because that's what it takes to be successful in the Dubai market. So we know how to get through that. Now, this bit is more about explaining what the off-plan market offers in Dubai and really, why we want to be focusing on it. So down here you can see for quarter 2 2023, this was from DXB Interact, who a lot of you will know, and obviously they're using Dubai Land Department data. So as you can see here are the top 5 projects. So you've got Danube projects, Emaar projects, and Damac projects, and we can see that 55% of the total market deals were off plan, okay? And that translates to 15,889 off-plan transactions, okay? Ultimately, when we're doing lead gen, we've got to focus on off-plan, right? Because the secondary market is really catered to the portals, right? Because the product is the power in that case. But in the off-plan market, the buyers are the power, because there's an endless stream of products for the agencies, right? So the buyer holds the power. So it's about what agencies can get that buyer and match them to a specific product. Now, looking at the off-plan market and the potential, so we saw a 34.82% rise in year-on-year volume of transactions, which is obviously really, really important. The average off-plan apartment values for Q2 of this year was 1.3 million, and for villas that was 2.4 million. Okay, so looking at these transactions in the quarter, the average value for apartments within here was 1.3 million, and the average value for villas was 2.4 million. So what you want to think about is, let's just say 5,000 were sold per month at a commission rate averaging 5%, then this is the potential market cap, or this is what the target that we have to go after, okay? So 325 million dirhams per month being paid out to agencies for off-plan deals, right? So what the question I want you to ask yourself is, how are the agencies getting these deals? What does it require for them to get that deal? Yes, it requires advertisement, okay? Everyone can close a deal if they've got a motivated and qualified investor there. It's not rocket science, as agency owners will know. So the way we've got to do it is by effective advertising, right? So, and that's primarily done through the portals, through Google, and through social media, okay? What I want to offer you is the solution to the Google and the social media part of this. So you've got to ask yourself, why can't your agency get a bigger market share of this proportion that's being paid out? And this isn't even considering the future development in Dubai and, what's going to happen in the marketplace. So we laser focus on generating leads in the off-plan niche, right? It's our bread and butter. I've done it inside out for the past 3 to 4 years, okay? And we want to target both local investors and we want to target the overseas market. So whether you're a agency that's got big connections in the UK, you might have big connections in India or Pakistan, you might look at the US and Canada, or you might look at France, Germany, etc., etc. A lot of agency owners in Dubai, they do have connections with another country, and I suggest that you focus on that country. So for me, that's the UK. So I'm focused on targeting locals and residents, expats living in the UAE, but I'm also advertising overseas to the UK market and driving capital from there into the Dubai market. And I've spent a hell of a lot of money doing this. And the way we do it is through a couple of key channels. Now, I'm just going to discuss those quickly. So Facebook and Instagram, this is your bread and butter, okay? The reason being is because you can highly target based on demographics. So we know that Mr. Investor is sitting on Facebook and Instagram and consuming content there. Okay, so our key demographic, age 30 to 60, that's wealthy, that may already own a property, that is an executive, or he's sitting on capital, or he owns businesses, those types of people are sitting on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so the beauty of Facebook is that you can be extremely adaptable. You can cut and chop projects. You can be, get one stopped, get another one started. You can run multiple campaigns. You can highly target people. You can look at any location or nearly any location in the world. It's, an exceptional platform which is not going to go away anytime soon. Okay, so that's Facebook, and that's where I suggest everybody starts. Okay. The next one we have is Google PPC. For those of you that don't know, Google PPC is Google Pay Per Click, which means we're paying Google to advertise on their platform. So when someone goes to Google and types in something such as Dubai off-plan property investments, if you pay enough money, you can appear at the top of the search results for that. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about the organic ones, the ones that come up naturally. I'm talking about paid traffic. So Google is best for those that have a really, really strong budget and they're able to outcompete other agencies and get that very high, very commercially aware traffic, okay? Because anyone that goes to Google and types in property investments Dubai is obviously highly motivated. So we want to pay to target that traffic. If you've got the budget there to do that, then that's a great place to spend money as well, because the quality is so high and you'll see your closing rate very high as well, assuming your sales process on the back end is effective. So Google PPC is another one to look at. Now, what comes underneath those results is Google search. And to improve in search rankings organically, in other words, not have to pay for adverts, you do what's called SEO, which is search engine optimization. Now, this is a long game, so you're not going to see results for 12 to 18 months on that. However, most agency owners, they do have ambitions to be in the property market for the long term. So if you want to explore that channel, we can help you with that as well. And I've had great results on that personally, improving in Google's ranking. So looking at the UK market, my actually own company ranks number one for property investment company UK. So I know how to do that as well, but you're going to get much quicker results and you're going to close deals way quicker through using paid media such as Google PPC and social media like Facebook and Instagram. Cool. Now, just the last channel in terms of our offering is TikTok. So a lot of you may not be using the platform. You may not be fully aware of it yet. A lot of the bigger agencies and developers in Dubai are already on TikTok and already utilizing it. So it's a great opportunity for most agencies. I would say 90% of agencies in Dubai can benefit from advertising on TikTok. Okay, it's very easy for us to do that. The challenge with TikTok is the video content. Okay, so what it relies on is good creative campaigns. So with Facebook, you can knock up a relatively simple image or video, pay to advertise it, and bang, you're away. That will last a while. With TikTok, because it's a fast-moving environment, the attention span of the user is very is very quick. So what you will notice is that it's all short-form video content. So you've got to grab the attention. It's got to be really engaging, high energy, and it's got to drive traffic to where you want it to go, whether that's off to your own website, off to a landing page, or just you want to collect the lead on TikTok. But what you're going to get on TikTok, which you won't get elsewhere, is very low cost per lead. Okay, because the competition on there is drastically lower than any other platform, you are going to generate a high volume of leads at a low cost per lead. Now, it might take you a bit longer to sift through that traffic, but if you've got, a few brokers or more, you're going to be able to do that anyway. So there's a huge opportunity on TikTok, and it still hasn't even touched the sides in terms of what it can offer. So you're going to have to be a bit more creative, or you're going to have to work with us in terms of the video content. But once you get past that, and once you get a good solution in place for your video content, then advertising on TikTok is going to be a great channel. Cool. So I'm just going to run through a couple of case studies now. So if we look at this one in July 2023, we were advertising a project in Studio City called Layer Heights, which is actually nearly complete now. And we generated 75 leads with a very low budget, and we generated them just shy of 56 dirhams per month. So if you can see here, 75 leads. Here's the date from July 1st to July 30th. Here's the cost per result, okay? 55 dirhams per lead, which is very, very cheap, okay? And here's the amount spent. So not a huge amount of money, okay? So just over 4,000 dirhams, and we got them 75 leads, okay? So that's really, really important to think about in that example. In the next example, you can see how we've, spent a bit more money here. So we spent $25,000 per month. So we're used to doing big spends. And as you can see, again, this is recent. So 1st of July 2023 to the 31st of July 2023. And as you can see down here, 55 leads, 44 leads, 43 leads, 29 leads, 35 leads, 37 2 leads, 34 leads, 27 leads, and different varying prices. This particular one was in pounds. But as you can see how many campaigns we're running. So it's not just you do one advert. You've got to build out all of these ad sets, all of these campaigns. And this is just the ad set itself. So within these, you have loads of actual individual adverts running. Okay. But this is how many it takes. So what you've got to do is run all these ads, and then you've got to choose the best performing ones and then scale those. But we're used to spending $25,000 per month. So we can certainly do that for anyone who's got a slightly bigger budget. And then here is an example going back to what I spoke to earlier about picking and choosing campaigns. So as you can see in this example, we're running ads for the same project, but there's lots of different creatives. These are all different audiences that is taken a lot of work to get the end result here, right? Again, this was in pounds, so not a huge amount of spend. So this is, probably 8,000 dirhams, something like that. I'm just off the top of my head. And as you can see, we've generated a higher volume of leads on some adverts than others. So if you look at this one, 58 leads, right? But it took us a long way to get here. So we got down to this cost per lead, but we had to try and test the other creatives and the other, audiences and demographics. We had to tweak campaigns and, spend money here, increase the budget here, decrease the budget here. So this is where the magic is, right? And this is why you can only run Facebook campaigns successfully in Dubai, or in fact in any country, if you are optimizing it, testing, and being ruthlessly, rigorous in your monitoring of the campaign. So anyone can go on YouTube, learn how to run Facebook campaigns, set it up, and let it go and hope for the best. But what most people can't do is spend the time to go into the account every day, look at every single ad set and campaign, and then make sure it's optimized, edit it, and get to that end result. So that's exactly what's happened here, right? So virtually all of these were losing campaigns, right? Bar maybe this one. But what you can see we've done here is we found the right solution between a cost per lead and a volume of leads. So it took us a lot to get to that stage. So that gives you an example of what we do in terms of the actual campaigns themselves. But just in terms of the campaigns, in terms of the creatives. So what the creatives are is when you run an advert, right, you've got to do the copy, which is the writing in the advert. And then you've got to do the creative, which is either the image or the video, right? So here's a couple of examples of ones that we've done. So, as you can see, catchy theme tune. They had the key selling points highlighted on the text, and then you had the video overlaying in the background. That was for Azizi Riviera, which I'm sure most of you know. And that gives you an example of what we can do very, very quickly, which will be way more effective than just a plain image. However, images have their place as well. So, a couple more examples here. This is a very similar format. As you can see, a bit more sharp, a bit more snappy. And then the last one here, similar format. Scanning round the show homes. Cool. So I touched on a couple of bits earlier with regards to what we do and how we optimize campaign. But in terms of what companies are paying us, what we do for that money, this gives you the best idea, right? So in general, what will happen is we want to try and advertise a specific project. The reason being is that investors and property buyers are being hammered with adverts all the time. So doing a generic advert like, we will help you buy real estate in Dubai, it's not going to get any attention. What you've got to do is advertise something where it seems fresh, it seems unique, it seems like it's going to be a high return, it seems like the completion date might not even be too far, if you want to mention that as well. It seems like the product finish has got to be great, it seems like the developer credibility's got to be there. So all of these factors you've got to consider, which I know from running real estate agencies, how important that is. So you've got to have the mindset that you want to give the investor a motivation or a reason to inquire and to click on the advert in terms of your one over any other competition. So by picking a unique product, by picking something that's going to pop out and taking a unique angle, that's what's going to generate interest. So we have run campaigns on the following projects. So Azizi Riviera, Leia Heights, the SLS building in Business Bay, Mag 330, Rove, which is a hotel by Emaar and City Walk, the Heart of Europe on Dubai World Islands, Hadley Heights, which is from Leo's in JVC, Azizi Beach Oasis, Studio City, and Shoba as well. We've done a couple of Shoba projects. And, you know, so we've got very, very good experience in advertising a wide variety of products. And the way we do that is through creative content that pops, frequent monitoring and optimization, advanced audience targeting and remarketing. You know, we have lots of data lists. We look at demographics of buyers, you know, think about how we can use psychology to target these people. We then rigorously test the campaign. So we'll run 2 adverts, very, very similar to each other, but one for the same project, but one will have different written text and one will have, you know, a different image, for example, and then we'll test and see what works best. You've got to be very, very persuasive with the copy. So that's the written part of the advert. So we make sure that we're doing that as well. And then finally, we measure deals on the back end. So we don't just run the ads, generate your leads and say, you know, there you go. We'll ask you, we'll engage with you, we'll monitor the closed deals on the back end so we can give you a very clear ROAS. And what that means is your return on advertising spend. So after you've worked with us for 3 months, what you'll notice is you've spent this much money on this channel, you've got this many deals out of it and this revenue. So it's going to be very, very clear the return on investment you're getting from working with us, okay? That's exceptionally important. Okay, so just a couple of bits here in terms of why we are different. So number 1, Dubai-specific knowledge. Number 2, an omni-channel approach. Number 3, sales and marketing elites. Number 4, off-plan experts. Number 5, the value of money. And number 6, our communication and reporting. So I just want to speak through those a bit more quickly. So with regards to Dubai location and culture knowledge, I live and work in Dubai. I know it like the back of my hand. I've been coming here since 2014, so I know how the market works here. And we offer an omni-channel approach. So if you, for example, you might start off, if you've got a lower budget, you might just start off with Facebook and Instagram ads. But when we show you how it works, when you build trust with us, when you know, have a good relationship with us, we'll branch out into other channels for you as well. So TikTok, Google as well. And then by the time that's all set up, you're going to have a spread across the market, targeting investors at different levels in different locations with different buying intent. So you're going to have a steady stream of leads on autopilot for a very predictable cost, and you're going to know the outcome and your return on advertising spend for each of these channels. So that's where you want to get to. So you can just say, Nick, this month I've got this much money, this is what I want to spend. I'll say, great, bang. That's all you've got to do, and then leave the rest to us. Okay, sales and marketing elites. As I say, you know, as I've hammered home on this presentation, I've spent the past 3 to 4 years running my own agencies. $91 million worth of property sold. $91 million direct property that I've sold through my own companies using effective lead generation tactics. Okay, there's very, very few, if any, digital marketing agencies that can say that. Okay. Off-plan experts. So the vast majority of property that we've sold has been in the off-plan market. So I know how to generate leads. Value for money. So what we offer, what we will do for you is, you know, in terms of the value we offer is disproportionate compared to the fee that we charge. So we charge a very, very attractive fee, which is fixed and which will be discussed on the discovery call, which will, you know, go through further details of where you're at, what type of campaigns you want to run, what type of money you want to spend, and then we'll be able to give you an accurate fee based on that. But I can guarantee you it's going to be exceptionally attractive in terms of what you will get back and in terms of what we offer. And just lastly, number 6, something I pride myself on and which I think a lot of companies are absolutely terrible at is communication and reporting. So you're going to have a dedicated point of contact, okay? And we're going to give you comprehensive monthly reports with a deep dive into what's happened, what's going on, how your campaigns are performing, what's worked well, what hasn't worked well, and we'll also give you dynamic weekly reports. So very quick, snappy, video recorded market updates, a campaign update, so you know exactly what's happening on almost a day-to-day basis. So that's really, really important, because it's not a set and forget campaign. You're going to see how we're, where your money's going, basically, what we're doing in the campaigns, what we're chopping, what we're changing, how we're performing. Okay, so we're just going to be head and shoulders above most other agencies in Dubai. Cool. So here's a couple of developers that we've worked with at a real estate agency level, and we're used to advertising their projects. So what I just want to go through quickly now is the types of people that we like working with. So I'm very, very confident that I can deliver results for people, and to be honest, I don't need to work with every single agency out there, and I don't want to. I want to work with people that are easy to get along with, and they're growth minded. Okay. So what I want to see, or the people I want to work with, is if I can deliver you results in that first 3-month period, if you want to scale, if you want to build up, if you want to spend more money. So I don't expect you to invest a huge amount at the start, because we're just establishing our relationship. But if I show you in that 3-month period a win-win scenario, so we win by retaining your business and getting recommendations, and you win because you're closing deals, not just generating leads, closing deals, then we can grow from there. So I want people that are easy to work with and that have the vision to scale and to generate more money, which I'm sure everyone does. Number 2, you've got to be RERA regulated, and you've got to have an existing sales process in place. So I want to work with professional companies. I work with it can be a one-man band, it can be one with person, up to large-scale companies. But we've got to do things by the book, okay? So you've got to be RERA regulated, and you've got to have an existing sales process in place, because what I don't want to happen is for me to generate you loads of good quality leads and for you not to have enough time, not to have enough brokers, or you just quite frankly not optimized on the back end. That's going to be an issue for us, because we want to get that result on the back end. Nothing matters rather than closing the business and getting paid. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter about, almost about the product, the price you're advertising, how many leads we generate you at the cost per lead. None of that matters unless we're closing business on the back end. Okay, so you've got to be RERA regulated, and you've got to have an existing sales process. Now, I'm happy to advise, consult, and offer suggestions on how you can optimize your back end sales process. Okay, even if it right down to software to use, how to approach the first call, your follow-up process, how to close, how to handle objections. If you want some consultancy and advice on that side of things, more than happy to do that as well. Okay, willing to implement our strategies. This is a big one, right? Because what you'll find is a lot of existing agencies owners, they kind of have a formula of how they've got to where they are. So they might have done things in a certain way. They might have worked with a previous real estate agency in terms of digital marketing agency that told them what to do. Okay. But what I want you to do is come to us, or when you come to working with us, is have a fresh mind and take on board our ideas. Like, I do appreciate insights in terms of your business and your existing setup at the beginning, but to be direct and to be frank, I know what works. Okay. I know what works, and I want to execute and bring those ideas and bring that knowledge to your team. So fair enough. If you've generated $6-10 million of commission, then maybe you know better than me. But if you've generated less than $4 million worth of commission in the past 3 years, then I know more than you. Okay. And I want to give you that idea, that value, and just make sure you've got absolutely everything you need to be successful. Okay. And I just want to work with companies that are willing to do that, take on board our ideas. I'm not saying that you need to implement everything, but what I don't want to do is come in and then just have to deal with your existing, setup and structure. What I want to do is complement that. So you can keep all that in place, keep doing what you're doing, but I'd love to bring some fresh ideas, some fresh strategy to the table, and really get on the, get some campaigns going. Cool. And just lastly, marketing budget to invest. So there's no two ways about it. You can not network your way to closing a large scale of off-plan deals. It doesn't happen. It's a myth in Dubai. I hate it when I see lots of, real estate agencies saying, move to Dubai or get started in Dubai real estate agency and you can network your way to success. Networking and cold calling in the off-plan market does not work. Or it might work, but it doesn't work at scale, should I say. To get a large volume of off-plan deals, you've got to advertise, okay? Don't care what channel, I don't care what company you use, just advertise, spend money, generate leads at a good cost from qualified, motivated investors, and you will get business done, assuming you've got a reasonable sales process in place. So to work with us, you do need a marketing budget, okay? It doesn't have to be much, but you've got to have enough money to pay our fee and then to pay for the advertising, okay? Cool. So just in terms of the next steps and the process overview, if you've watched this and you're willing to speak more, just let me know. The first stage will be an initial discovery call, just to run through your current business setup and what you're doing at the moment. Okay? On that discovery call, it's no obligation. It's just about understanding where you're being successful at the moment, where we think we can add value, what we can come in and do for you, and just really learn more about your business, and you can learn about us as well. After that, we'll then do an audit. Okay, so we'll do our due diligence on the back end of your advertising accounts. We'll look to see, how you're spending your money currently, if you are, or if it's all fresh, that's fine. And we'll just generally have a look at your operations so we know what type of work, is required from us. After that, we'll give you some recommendations for free. And we'll just say, look, we've had a look at your accounts. I really think you can do this, this, and this, okay? And then we'll say, if you want us to do this for you, this is what it will cost, and we'll give you an offer, okay? Then it's up to you to accept that offer if you want to proceed, or you can just implement those ideas, or you can come back to us at a later date, okay? If you do decide to work with us, we'll go through an onboarding process, right? So we'll ask a few more detailed questions. We might like to make sure we've got a very, very robust and optimized system in place before we go live, because at that stage, obviously, we're going to be spending your money. So what you'll see from us is a very strict, organized and professional onboarding approach. Then once you're onboarded, we'll go through a similar process to launching and getting the campaigns out there. So we'll look at what products you want to look at, what you want to spend, what investors you want to target, etc., and then we'll go away and build that and get that launched. And then after launching, obviously, we'll then look at how we can optimize and how we can scale up and work with you to get more deals effectively. So that's the onboarding and the general overview of the process. All right, guys, so that's the end of the presentation. So as a next step, if you go below, you can book a consultation call. That will be either with myself or the team member. More than likely, it will be with me directly. So on that call, just to stress, there's a couple of questions about your current setup, and then I can let you know what we can do to help. We'll then go away, have a quick look at your accounts, and then we'll let you know what the pricing structure is, how we can help, etc. So what I would say just lastly about the fee, guys, is, as I said before, it's not anywhere near as much as you think it would be, okay? So it will depend on your agency. So if I've got, a one-man band or a guy that's just set up in Dubai, then obviously the fee is going to be much lower than what it would with a team of 100 brokers, okay? So we can't give pricing straight off the bat. We have to know roughly what you're dealing with, but we can give you pricing at the end of the first call if you wish. But ideally, we would like to have a look at your accounts, have a look at your back end first, advertising accounts, I mean, and then we'll give you a price at that stage because we can be super accurate. But I hope that helps, guys. So as I say, book that consultation. However, if you did have any quick questions that you wanted answering, we've got a team WhatsApp number there, and you've got our company email address there as well. So anything quick you want to know, and you want some more reassurance, or had a couple of questions before jumping on a call, that's absolutely fine. I don't always want to get on a call with people, so feel free to contact me via those methods as well. But if you want to get moving, if you do want to learn more, then I would suggest booking a consultation call and giving us a try. All right, guys, thanks for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. And that's Nick at Track Digital.